The Ultimate Universe is still coming to an end, allegedly, supposedly, depending on who you ask. And we are one issue away from the end of the Ultimate book, the Ultimates book proper. And so, how did we spend that? With rhymes. That
Hey,
and more this week on Pals Pulls. To have the conversation, of course, we've got Marco,
Celsius,
Tyler,
Hey,
Gumbo.
I don't know what I was doing there.
and I'm Sean. Thank you for being here, whether you are live or in the future. Smash that like button if you
Smack.
enjoy what we do. Near, yes, indeed, 3 days in a row
Tweak it.
of the Pals. Does anyone know why Pals Pulls is happening early this week? I actually do know. I happen to know the answer to that.
Yeah.
And the answer is because we felt like it.
Let's just
We had,
say recreational activities presented themselves.
yeah. So we're gonna have a good time. Hopefully you guys have had a chance to read your books, and if you didn't, that's okay because you can still just chill with us. So what are we gonna talk about today? We're talking about Ultimates number 23, Captain America number 10, Justice League Intergalactic Special number 1, Zatanna number 1, Batman Wonder Woman The Truth number 1,
Oh, you got the
and
Delato variant.
I
Okay.
did because that's my
Ooh,
guy.
clean.
Yeah.
Like that logo.
And Swamp Thing 88.
Yo,
Oh, you got the
you got
good
the O
one.
face variant. Jeez,
I
he's
got the O
busting nuts on the
face.
crucifix right there.
Yup, yup.
And
Damn.
he said the
Christ
body
thing.
of God is T, and he was busting from it.
Hell yeah. Hell to the yeah. Although the Jim Lee variant that I think Chris got is really nice too.
For
I
Swamp
had some
Thing?
regrets.
No, not
No,
for
sorry
something.
Oh,
for Batman Wonder Woman Truth.
gotcha.
But
Nice.
okay, guys. Oh, you know what,
Huh.
Marco? We don't need to get into it necessarily. We don't need to tell the listeners what you said
Oh,
before we went live.
you could have just moved
But
past it.
It
no,
was a
I
hard thing to move
couldn't just move
past.
past
Yes.
it. It was a lot, dude. And I just need them to know that I'm coming into this show right now
Yeah.
with different energy than I would have if
Mm.
Marco hadn't said that shit.
Marco always says shit at like the 59-minute.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's just because it's like one of those things you bring up casual conversation, you know. I honestly expected you guys to be aligned with me. Like, oh yeah, that's
No,
fine.
no. I will just say, guys, no, I'm not gonna. I don't even want to.
You're smoking crack if you think that we were going to be fine with that. But okay. Let's
Ultimate
see if
23.
let's see if we're fine with Ultimates number 23. This is written, but no, you don't. I'm saving you. Entertain
Yeah,
me. Trust
yeah,
me.
no,
I'm saving you.
Is
You
that a
don't
late
need
night? Is
this.
that a late night?
not
But I mean,
even.
yeah,
No,
you can say it on Palling Around for sure if you want to.
I'm not shy.
I know, dude. Of course, the way you
well,
busted that out, of course, I know that.
Marco, you've constantly said stuff on podcasts on YouTube that would probably get most people like not canceled, but like, oh, what's up with this guy?
Yeah. It's like, he's
But
a little
you say it
different.
in such a nice way that I can't besmirch you for it. This one was close
I want to. All right, so Ultimates number 23, of course, is written by Dennis Camp, but it's got art from Stephen Morian,
Hell yeah.
who is rejoining Dennis Camp on this, letters by Travis Lanham. So remember how Thor and Loki had beef in Asgard and they vanished for a while, and then we got that one weird rhymey issue?
Yeah.
Well, here's another weird rhymey issue.
the squeakle.
Uh, yes, that is less rhymey than the first one,
It's more alliterative.
more
A
alliterative,
lot more.
and depicts Ragnarok. The Norse mythology always talks about, the end of the gods as the Ragnarok event, and essentially that's what we see play out here, more or less traditionally, if you are familiar with Norse lore. What this had to do with Ultimates, I don't know, but it was good to look at.
Beautiful to look at. Does AltNet reach Asgard? I don't know.
You got to get a certain plan for it, I think.
Yeah, VPN
Yeah.
maybe.
Yeah, Norse VPN you need for that.
Yeah, dude. Man, at some point, I'm just these pictures are awesome, dude. I'm just gonna look at these pictures. The alliteration got to me. I feel like I do recall the last issue where this sort of poetry happened. I loved that issue. I thought the language, the word choice, very flowery. I thought um, the style here that uh, Dennis Camp leads into with that alliteration it got so repetitive, very exhaustive. I could see the function of it, but for what it was worth, like I don't know, man. I genuinely at some point I did kind of stop reading on the train, and I'm just like, oh, I love Stipan's art, man. Like this is rad. Seeing some of these, I want to get this book in uh physical. I only bought it digitally, but I do want to get it physically. I want to cut the shit out of this book.
How is that? Like,
That felt aggressive.
yeah, I
I
want to cut
love
the shit out of this book.
Damn.
I
You're
want to
like
make
that one
art.
guy from that Morrison's Doom Patrol who's just like cutting people out of
Oh, the scissor
continuity.
guy? Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
That's like, you're so beautiful. I want to make art of you. Like,
That's like
that's like some real
that's like
Batman villain.
going up to the club, being like, all right, checking heights, be like, oh, yeah, your skin would fit. Like that's the amount of creepy.
Dude, what is up with you today?
Yeah, he's
Energized, energized. It's
oof.
a Wednesday
This is
night.
what you're like when you have energy.
It's a Wednesday night.
Oh.
Oh, it's Wednesday. That's why. He's unused to it. Yeah, this is his freaky night. This is normally
That's right.
his free night. Um, yeah, I find this one to be a hard one to talk about because yes, it is fucking gorgeous. Sipan Morian, whose name I will never pronounce correctly. I don't even know if I did it then. Um, is a very distinct artist. I'm loving Bleeding Hearts. I loved ooh geez, what's Our Soot Stained Heart, which was another book that came
Oh,
out.
okay.
And there's a page here where they show all the dwarves of or the nine realms, and they're just riding, like they just got the Zandalari bear mountain or some shit like that. They're just riding this bear, and I'm like, oh, that feels like Our Soot Stained Heart. So I think it's a gorgeous book. But man, I don't know if I need this. Like I know this is a sequel to the first story, which depicted what's going on in Asgard and why Thor and Loki had to leave the Ultimates essentially to defend their homeworld. Um, but it's such a speed bump. We have one more issue. 24 is the final Ultimates issue. And I feel like, I don't know, could we have had this before we got into the Endgame stuff? Um, I see how there's thematic parallels to what's happening in the story. This is a story of, war, essentially, and how what happens with war, everyone loses, really. Because the end of this has Loki and Thor essentially fighting and then Asgard has Ragnarok, essentially. And then, new gods prevail out from under the ashes of these old gods. So I can see very thin thematic parallels, but like I didn't need it. Couldn't this have been an annual? Like that's how I was feeling throughout this.
Yeah.
Man, because it's good. I don't know if it's a comic, uh, but it's not what I wanted. Like I want to I want to be listening and reading that Endgame story.
I'm going to say something up front right now that generally applies to the books we read this week. I found this week's reads to be a slog.
Interesting.
Oof.
Okay.
Yeah. And this was the first book I read.
Oh, same.
Yeah.
This is
yeah.
the last one. I had nodded out during it, so I had to read it twice.
Same.
Dude, I struggled through quite a bit of this stack this week. And it was really, well, I don't want to spoil my thoughts, but yeah, this book was tough to read. It's just too much. And, Ragnarok is the coolest thing, from a visual standpoint. And I think they I think they got it. I think Stephen Moran was a great choice for this. His Surtur is just unbelievable. His Destroyer. This page right here, where they're going at it, I thought
Oh
that
yeah.
was incredible.
Yeah.
That
His
was an
Magog,
unbelievable.
his Magog
Yeah,
is great too.
yeah. This was a visual feast. It,
Yeah.
it, it really was. However, and actually, there were elements of the story that I liked. I liked the story. If this were shown with traditional panel layouts and word balloons, traditional comic book pages, I probably would have liked this because I like what happens. I just don't like the way it's presented. And I'm not saying, oh, this isn't a comic, but I am saying this is not the presentation of a comic that I prefer, especially not in this book right now. There's literally nothing I want to read less than this
Yeah.
in this book right now. If you would have done them back to back, fine, do it. But 23 of 24?
And when was the first story issue?
I feel like that was issue
Like 11?
3?
somewhere in there, not 3.
No, it
Oh,
was
the you're saying the
remember
other poem
remember
one.
Marco, he was an Ultimate at one point. Remember that?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. I thought you meant like the like with Sif and all that.
No, that goes
This,
back from Ultimate the Hickman stuff.
yeah, yep, Invasion. This just feels very out of place. It doesn't feel connected to anything that's like this book has been about what's happening outside the dome and what our heroes are doing.
Yeah.
So technically, this fits
It
that,
does fit, yeah.
but it's the biggest stretch possible.
It almost at times felt like a children's book, like picture book.
I can see that, yeah.
And like one telling like not a nursery rhyme, but like something similar like that. Especially the way it's drawn. But like what's going on with Wasp? What's going on with with She-Hulk, who we haven't seen ever since that friggin' plane dropped? Like we're the middle of literally the end of this series, and then we have this side quest.
The middle, dude. We're at the end.
Oh,
It's
you mean yeah,
penultimate.
yeah,
Of the
Penultimate
universe.
ultimates. Yeah, exactly.
allegedly.
Uh, and and I think if this is meant to be additive to something, I think it missed that mark because it does feel like a hard pivot. It feels for where we're at obtuse. For the art of it, for the artistry, awesome. I love that Camp and Sipan can do all this kind of stuff. They are talented creators, but man, time and place. Uh,
Yeah.
my interest on this book has been at an all-time low, and every time a new issue comes out, it detracts further.
I feel like ever since Ultimate Endgame #1, the whole it feels like the energy in this whole universe is just being squeezed out. Like I'm my energy for this universe is being squeezed out. Um, and it sucks because on paper, literally, this book is gorgeous and it's an interesting, fun read. But yeah, but wrong place, wrong time. You know where the right place is? On the side of a fucking Winnebago. That's the right place that this should be on. This one with Thor and Sif and the Warriors 3 in the background fighting these horde of zombie Asgardians. That shit should be on
Oh,
a
yeah.
van.
Oh yeah.
But should it be the second to last issue of what used to be my favorite series of all time, or not all time, of being currently published? I don't think so.
Oh, how the mighty have fallen. I thought this series was golden. Um, and now I just really want it to be done. I will say though, this issue put the thought back in my mind that maybe the Ultimate Universe is coming back. Because there was a way that Camp was talking about the cycle of rebirth
Yeah.
that made me think about maybe there's a meta commentary here.
Yeah, this issue was an endgame.
Sure.
Like this issue
Yeah.
was the entirety of the endgame event, essentially. The powers that be. There's that page my favorite page actually is when the as Guardians are actually fighting against the corporations and the bits of the Maker's place that got its way into Asgard, and one of them is choking out one of those like fuzzy face guys, and like so like it is telling the story that Ultimates has been telling all throughout in one issue for this separate segment. And that's why I'm with you, Sean. Like at the end, it's like, oh, the new gods rise. And I was like, oh,
There's the page I think you were talking about, the fuzzy face, where he's getting like wrung out. And that page ends with the greatest gift writers get to write their own ending, bolded. Like I do think that that was for me. I sort of perceive that to be like, look, this is the direction and the way that I'm heading. Me, Dennis Camp,
yeah.
is going. This is the way I want to kind of go out, for lack of a better term. And then the page before that talks about Sif's sacrifice, and then and laughing lifts Twilight, terrific, terrible, fire forged Falcon, then shatters that strange shackle, strong silken Gleipnir, freeing the wolf to finish the fated universe. Right, so like something is being unleashed to again, that's the sort of the illusion there, right? The maker is being unleashed to finish this universe. The writer gets to finish it under their own sort of pen and guise, and then Ragnarok and death and rebirth. I can see that. I didn't take that initially, but I can see that.
It's the story of this universe.
Yeah, yeah, potentially.
Which character is Hickman?
Loki.
Rip.
Camp is just crying with Hickman at the end.
Kyle asked, this definitely sounds like it lends itself to the theory that this Ultimate Universe wasn't supposed to end early, this early. How would we feel about this if it weren't the penultimate
I,
issue?
I don't know this issue exists if this world isn't ending, though. That's the thing. Because it is a story of this world ending. Um, that's why,
Well,
like, go ahead, Sean.
it's the story of Asgard ending in a like in the literal
In
sense.
the literal
Yeah.
sense, yeah. But I think in the non-literal sense, it's the story of the Ultimate Universe ending as a publication. And yeah, I don't think it exists without this world ending. For me, it's like annual. Ultimate. We did an Ultimate Hawkeye #1 that came out of nowhere. It was one shot. We could have an Ultimate Thor #1. And they can continue 23, 24.
I think it feels very out of place. If you put it back to back with the other issue that was about this, then sure. But I think thematically, it probably makes more sense at this point,
Yeah.
but not with the way that this book is published. It feels bad, even if it might make publication sense. I think this issue could exist regardless, but it doesn't need to. And that's the biggest problem. Camp wants to do it, but it doesn't need to be told. Doesn't feel essential.
Yeah. Yeah. It doesn't feel essential for the penultimate issue of a series, of a run.
Yeah. I like it as a piece in and of itself, but not as issue 23.
Yeah.
Wait, so what happens with issue 24? The 2 months go by then?
Dude,
Didn't they drop that?
Who
no,
fucking knows?
not as far as I know.
Damn, all this shit happened in April?
Pass. I'm sorry, but pass.
Yes.
Pass. Huh. Man, it's a hard one. I'm still gonna pull because I like it as an issue, but I have issues with it existing.
That's fair. 42% of you say pull. Didn't buy or read is 31%, which I expect will be a lot. We'll see that
Yeah.
number be higher because it is Wednesday. Pass is 18%, and pick of the week is 9%.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
Hayden
Hayden.
asked
Yeah,
a
go
question
for it.
here. It says, "Do you think this series will read better in trade, separated from the build up to Endgame?" Not really.
Yeah. It's gotta get collected. Like, you're reading story and then, hey, what's this epic that comes out of nowhere in volume 3?
it feels super disjointed.
Yeah.
The storytelling doesn't feel cohesive even. Because it's literally not. They're disparate issues. They have different focuses, different agendas, different things they're trying to get across with different main characters.
Yeah.
Like almost every issue of late has had one primary focus character.
And then Rel YT here says, "Don't worry, next issue will be a side quest for the Iron Fist kid," and that's how we end the the entire Ultimates run.
Wouldn't that be something?
You think they introduce new characters next issue?
I genuinely don't give a fuck what happens in the next issue.
I can
Truly
only-
don't.
I
Truly
Can only
don't.
hope.
At least on the cover, which the covers have been known to lie with the Ultimate books. They're fighting Ultimate Hulk, so maybe we finally have a rematch there.
Oh.
Wow. Oh, something exciting.
Well, that's just the cover.
Theoretically.
Yeah.
But it makes sense. I just don't understand why that didn't happen half the series ago. Or at least
Word.
at the start of, the Ultimate
What
Endgame
issue
piece.
was that?
Remember when we thought that it was gonna be like a training arc and they were gonna build up and all this kind of shit? I was hyped. I was hyped with the book. I'm like, damn, they got beat. This makes so much sense from a story perspective. We're gonna level up, and then they fucking build social media.
Yes, thank you, dude. That's why I thought I was living in the fucking Twilight Zone when we were on here reviewing this series, and you guys were like, "Oh, that's so cool," and I'm like, "Wait a second, what
I
about
still
the
think it's
fucking
cool.
Hulk? What about the Hulk? It could be cool, but what about the stuff the series is actually about? Why are we building social media while the Hulk's running around?
Social media, so we can build the social consciousness.
The Hulk
Waste of
fight.
time.
The Hulk fight was in Ultimates number 6.
No way. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, it'll be November 6th, 2024.
Unbelievable.
So I think they definitely grinded out enough XP where they'll probably be okay for the
I
next
don't think
fight.
so. I
No?
haven't seen them doing anything.
They weren't handing in enough boar guts.
No, they haven't done shit. Uh, Chris says, when the last issue comes out, I'd be curious to hear how y'all feel about this Ultimate
Ooh.
run compared to the OG. Oh, it's not even a question. There's no question.
There might be a question for me.
That's great. I think that there are great issues in this run, but it is so inconsistent that I cannot compare it.
Yeah.
We've been busy, guys. We have been very busy. Monday we did our Hawkeye deep dive book club.
Hell yeah, bro.
Which was awesome. You guys should run those numbers up if you liked it, or rather, if you liked that series and want to hear us talk about it. Tuesday we interviewed Stephanie Williams, and that was one of my favorite interviews that we've ever done. I really, really, really loved it.
Yeah, I loved sitting back while you guys talked to Black experiences, and I was like, okay, I'll listen and produce.
Sometimes you got to lay out. Yeah,
I know.
Yeah. It was a good conversation. It was a good conversation, and I hope you guys check it out. And then this Saturday we're going to be live with Kelly Thompson. There'll be a little bit of a reprieve. Nothing Thursday, nothing Friday, but then Saturday at 1 p.m. Eastern, free comic book day, by the way, guys. We will be live with Kelly Thompson. We're going to talk about Absolute Wonder Woman, everything else that Kelly's been doing.
We're talking Buffy.
Yeah, I'm talking Buffy. I need to talk about Buffy.
Yeah.
Hopefully she has more to say now that the series has been officially announced. But,
True. Yeah.
all right, let's get into Captain America number 10. This is written by Chip Zdarsky with art by Valerio Schiti, colors by Romulo Fajardo Jr., letters by Joe Caramagna. This is, the same sandbox we've been playing in for the last 5 issues. Feels actually like the entire series really has been in this space because we actually are in the same place, just 10 years apart. But there's some motion here. We finally identify who the traitor is. So that gets revealed. Captain America is able to make some headway against what's this douchebag's name?
The Sovereign.
Starts with an S. Sovereign. Yeah, a Sovereign.
Sovereign?
Is it
No,
not?
no.
I
It's
hope
not
it's
that.
not
It's
the
not
Sovereign.
that. It
It is with an S.
the Salvation.
Salvation. There
That's
you
it.
go. I was gonna say.
The
Um,
Sovereign's Wonder Woman, right?
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
sorry.
I don't need those flashbacks. But so in addition though, we see more here of General Ross, who is getting closer and closer to what he wants, which is a Captain America now pretty much buried because of the intervention that he's done, but also for him to be able to touch ground in Latveria as the Hulk. And by the end of this issue, we see that that has happened.
Which, based on previews, it goes right into Free Comic Book Day, Armageddon special that comes out on Saturday. Can I say I was so happy when I opened this up and I saw his Valer Sheedy on art?
Hell yeah.
I was like, man, this is what I wanted the whole time. And I think he was originally supposed to be, but things happened.
Right.
And that's why we had every other artist on the book proper. And it looks like Sheedy is on art going forward too, if solicits are to be believed. Part 6 of this is Sheedy. Next arc is Sheedy. So that's good to see. And I actually really enjoyed this. I thought it was a real. There were parts here that I really liked. I think, I mean, we just talked about issue 9. It came out last week, so it might sound like I'm beating a dead horse. But there's a lot of live horses in this book, so good job on Sheedy for drawing that. But I like the position that Cap is put into in this, where he has to realize that war changes people. And like Salvation was the good guy in his eyes originally, a couple decades ago. Somebody's line fireworks near me. Somebody else talk while I mute myself.
Go ahead, Marco. What are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, this is a strong continuation of the series so far. I like the uh as Tyler was alluding to, sort of the moral quandaries we get here. People change, war affects them, but also, it feels like in this world or in this future, you have to always kind of watch your back because the people that are there beside you, fellow soldiers, it's not the case anymore because again, this isn't black or white. This isn't good versus bad, and so you have to be kind of vigilant of all the people around you, and uh, it partly is a bit cynical, and I feel like that cynicism is Ross kind of coming in, looking for a reason. There's the phone call that sort of happens where it's him, it's Ross, Cap, and Fury, and Ross is going like a mass grave on an Avenger fighting with rebel forces. Like he's looking for a reason, right? And I do like that as him being that antagonist who's just like, I need, give me a good reason. You throw the first fist, and then I'm gonna come in and I'm gonna clean up and finish it. So there's a lot of antagonism, even on the same side, and that's difficult to deal with, especially when we're looking at Cap's ideals, which again, good versus bad, American virtue versus the villains at large. So yeah, I think the message that Chip is putting out there is a little subtle, but when it has its moments to shine, it really stands out. So I've been enjoying that.
Um, you know what? This series is fantastic, man. I have thoroughly enjoyed this all throughout. Art issues, the changing of artists, and I think the way that Marvel has handled this series has been frustrating. And you can tell now that we're at this space of it that this all happened in order to get this book where it needed to be to set up Armageddon. And they were lucky that Chip works the way that he works, and he's so far ahead on his scripts that they could just attach an artist to it and get them to work and have multiple artists. And again, this is my interpretation, multiple artists working on different issues of this series at the same time to get it out to
Yep.
align it with Free Comic Book Day.
Yep.
Because there's 2 issues back to back. And then I think we're getting another one 2 weeks from now. So
Damn.
what other comic has that kind of publication schedule, right?
Yeah.
But despite that fact, I do believe that this issue is excellent. Valerio Schiti's art is so good
Oof.
that when he's on a book, it feels like an event.
Mm-hmm.
And this is not an event, but because of the things that are happening, And because they give it, such a talented artist, that elevates it for me. So I really love just that alone, him being on here. And then when you add in how tense this all feels, so much is on the line. Captain America is committing an international act of war by just being here.
Yeah.
He's not supposed to be here. And once again, he's putting his ideals above what's maybe best for America. This is not best for America. He's not doing this as an American. He's doing this as Steve Rogers, Captain America, who happens to be American.
And I think throughout this, though, it's just him coming to terms with the idea of America doesn't really jive with him anymore. It is a real nomad story being told again in 2026. There's that bit where when he's fighting, Hayden makes a joke saying Shredder, but he kind of does look like Shredder in this. But
Facts,
when he's fighting Salvation, and Salvation says, like, yeah, you helped me out way back when, but Doom was still in charge and you guys didn't do shit. And you're only here now again because it's advantageous to the US. And that made Cap stop for a second. And Cap's the only one doing something. The US is specifically telling him not to do anything. So Cap is in direct conflict with the America that he's so used to. And I like that. Like, I think if there's ever to be, a Steve Rogers Nomad story again, now is the time to do that. And playing with that here and the idea of the US as a superpower on the global scale is relevant.
Uh, someone else brings it up here. Actually, Hayden as well. I do think Cap's team was underbaked, so the death of that one guy didn't affect me. It's so bad I've forgotten his name. I think the widow killing, and to be honest with you, when that happened, I was like, oh, okay, guess that's just happening. I do think some of the characters, like as much as I think they've tried to be built up, they do just feel a little generic. The sort of side characters and everything involved. There's a lot of people in this book. So if there is one critique, I think I'm aligned with you there, Hayden. That yeah, there's a lot of people here. They're kind of just tagging along to some extent. They are meant to represent that even amongst this group, again, we can be different, we can have different ideas, we can approach problems in different ways and have different priorities, to illustrate that point. But I think that point has been made with even the freedom fighter with Cap, and then with the Von Doom daughter, right? Like all of those ideals are so distinct, that I think we're getting beat a little bit over the head with that one.
But look who gets killed in all of this, right? Alina Von Doom got killed in the previous issue. She is the one in this proxy war. It's the people that are in these proxy wars that actually feel the repercussions of it all. Cap's fine. The Red Widow, who is now a stand-in for Russia, is fine. She gets away scot-free. So I mean, she gets knocked out, but like she's fine otherwise.
Yeah.
So like there's that story too happening in the background, that I think is really relevant.
Yeah, I think all this feels really relevant, and I like we need this kind of story. I feel like
Yeah.
from Marvel, and I'm glad that it's a Cap story. I feel like Cap is the perfect vehicle for this kind of thing. I am so excited for Armageddon. Uh,
You see
I
those
think
preview
Chip's got
pages?
it. I do. I did, yeah.
Yeah. So here's the thing that I'm thinking too. All right, tinfoil hat maybe, but Armageddon. We know Delio Diaz is on art for it, who had did some of the previous issues to this.
I think
And one of the
Frank Alpizar's as well.
yes, yeah, there's two artists. Sheedy's not.
Mhm.
Do you think Sheedy could be prepping Avengers?
It's possible. I know for a fact that Chip Zdarsky said that he specifically took Alpizar and Diaz off the book to have them be the artists on Armageddon, which again, the preview pages are stunning. But why go with them instead of Sheedy? That's a good question. And to answer the question in chat from Banksy as to why Sheedy didn't do this whole arc, it's because this arc dropped 5 issues in like 2 months.
Yeah.
That's why.
and we know when it was originally solicited, the first issue of this arc, it had different characters on the cover. It didn't have these
That's right.
um
Yep.
this version of Shield or whatever. So like
It was
that could
about something
also,
else.
yeah, that could also explain why it feels a little half baked, these characters, because maybe they literally were half baked.
They were meant to be other characters with other implication to the central to the story.
Also, I wouldn't put it past the guy who got shot because he was shot off screen. We don't actually see his death to like come back disfigure with a mask or something like that as like
I was
another
thinking
guy.
about that.
Because like we see another guy get his head blown smooth off. Like that was an on-screen death. Anytime there's an off-screen death, I don't believe it fully.
Hmm.
Pick of the week for me. I thought this was awesome. I'm really feeling this Cap run, and it feels good to say that.
Yeah,
Pull.
it's a strong pull for me as well.
38% of you also say pull. 32% of you didn't buy or read it. 27% say pick of the week. And pass is only 3%. That's pretty good. Pretty good. I think Captain America is the book to read right now if you care about Marvel's direction.
What
Uh,
we didn't talk about the cliffhanger. What do you think of that?
uh, I think. Oh, right. Yeah.
The
The
doom of it
Doom
all.
kid. Yeah, I
Yeah,
figured that was just a life model decoy.
Could it be like an actual son, like a junior? Could it be um
I assumed it was
a reincarnation with magic?
I thought it was the son of the sister.
No, I don't. That's not what I was getting from it.
No.
I was because you have Doom. If you read his plaque, Cap's reading it. He says Doom is eternity, you know, and then it points at the future of Doom. So I think that's Doom himself in some way.
Interesting.
Yeah, I kind of I don't care. Doom is the least interesting part of all this by a country mile for me.
We're getting
Um,
Degrassi Doom.
yeah, like what the fuck? Why does Marvel have an obsession with teenageifying their characters? I don't give a fuck
Who else
about
have they
that.
done that with?
Uh, uh, fucking God damn it! It was on. I had it. Uh,
Agatha Harkness.
Agatha became a baddie. Loki became
Oh yeah,
Kid.
a kid. Um, yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't get this.
we'll see where it goes.
Yeah. All right. Let's head into DC land, shall we? I know you guys love it when we talk DC Comics.
Yeah.
And so we will start our DC Comics talk with Justice League Intergalactic Special #1. This one has an interesting creative team. Jadzia Axelrod and Nicole Maines on the writing. I believe this is the first Axelrod book that I've personally read. Travis Moore on art, letters by Hassan Otsman El How. This issue exists to set up um an event that is coming.
Yep.
The Dreamers event. That's going to be a summer event. Outside of that, this issue is dealing with a lot of drama surrounding two characters in particular, Dreamer and Galaxy. Dreamer has a dream that Galaxy will kill not just these Green Lanterns who have had they've been taken over, they're possessed. Not just them, but everyone who's there. And so Dreamer has to figure out a way to stop her friend from doing that. Um, all the while they have to save these Green Lanterns from themselves and defeat the Witch Queen or whatever, blah blah blah. What do you guys think of this?
I thought this was strong. I thoroughly enjoyed it. The I think the interactions, the drama here, specifically between Galaxy and Dreamer, like the history that was implicated, uh the ways that they were caring for each other, but how that ultimately led to the friction, again, kind of speaks to that drama overall. And then getting to see them in space, but with a whole bunch of like a ragtag crew. Love seeing Adam Strange. Um, Love being able to see Green Arrow feeling out of place. And the art I thought was pretty top notch. Really, really clean,
Yeah.
straightforward lines, nothing too crazy in terms of panels, just well communicated action. And a lot of this, as much as it was talking, I thought it was talking to build the dynamics and relationships of each of the characters. Because you even have Galaxy have this dynamic with Adam Strange, and he gets to calm her down in these tense moments. So, yeah, I really like this.
Um, I thought this was in the it's fine camp. I think Travis Moore is a great artist. It was really cool to see his art, and I think it's super clean, and I think he'd be a great Justice League book artist. Um, but holy hell, there's a lot of editor's notes in this. There was so many points where it's like, oh, if you want more of that, check out this, check out this, check out this, check out this, and I'm like, whoa, 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 slow down here. I don't need that. Just have the book tell me. I don't need to go back to all of it. If you're referencing the Hawk Girl comic that she's not even in this book, I don't need that to be referenced. And I know Jatsia Axelrod wrote the Hawk Girl book as well, so I don't know whose call that was. Um, Otherwise, I think it was fine. I don't. This is that one of those like quarterly DC special books that they do, like Justice League special books. We had the Dark Tomorrow one. We had the ones that like don't really fit anywhere and they kind of spin off other things. Um, so this is more like an issue 0 of the Sleeper Galaxy book. But I thought this was fine. I'm not familiar with Galaxy outside of like who she is as a character. I never read her stuff outside of maybe issue 1. But I do like Sleeper, and it was cool to kind of get like a clear bridge from Secret Six, where Sleeper ended up there, into this. Like they had Catman, Deadshot, and Black Alice show up here. They get chumped out by a fucking Corgi. Um, but
Mhm.
yeah, I thought this was fine. I think there was a little too much trying to catch people up to who these people are throughout this book. And I think the actual conflict of the story is kind of dispatched quickly. It's like, all right, we know who the Witch Queen is. All right, let's just go there and beat her. Okay, well, why didn't you do that in the first place? Why are you sitting around doing nothing for this whole time? And I don't know why Galaxy could just is immune to any lantern. That felt like a bit of a Deus Ex Machina throughout it. Other than that, I kind of dig the characters. I think it was Entertain Me. Yeah, it's Dreamer. Sorry. Um, I thought the wildest bit was Teen Lantern being forced to be transphobic in this. um, she has that one bit where she's talking to Galaxy and she's like, "You couldn't even be their son," and I was like, "Oh fuck." Um, that was rough. But hey, I mean, this is a book being written by 2 trans writers with a trans colorist, so I think that's rad. So it's cool to see that perspective and in a fear that I don't have being expressed in a book. So I think this is a fine book for me.
This was hard to read because there was a tremendous amount of dialogue, and there was a lot of dialogue that was unnecessary. I read this back to back with Ultimates, and
Ooh,
I was having a rough one. There's just so many instances where the dialogue is completely covering up the page, it feels like.
Mm.
Like this page right here is just stuffed to the gills.
yeah,
Like that's just sinful. You don't do that. And if you're gonna have a couple of pages like that, then sure. But for it to happen so frequently and for so much of the dialogue to feel like it's giving us information about these people. Let their actions give us information about these people.
yeah.
And also, there was something that really bothered me. There's a point at which Dreamer's like, "Hey, Galaxy, I had this vision of you like losing your shit." And Galaxy's like, "All right, well, isn't your job to fix the future? Do something about it. You're the fucking problem." I'm telling you in the future you're going to kill everybody, and you're telling me to do something about it. What the hell kind of solution is that? Why don't you do something about it and stay your ass home? That was just such a bizarre exchange to me. There was just way too much talking about nothing. I'm not all the way sure what happened to the Green Lanterns to make them like this. I felt like I was dropped right in the middle of something that I simply didn't fully get. And there were a million editor's notes, like Tyler points out, that reference shit I don't care about, nor did I feel like I really particularly needed to know.
Did you like the art?
Yes, Travis Moore is
Okay.
awesome. And
Yeah.
I think that, everything he does is great. And also, I really like Dreamer. I'm a big fan of Dreamer
Yeah.
ever since the Absolute Power stuff that Nicole Maines did. And so I just don't understand why this character can't get like, I mean, I guess I see why she doesn't have a book for herself, but like, can we get just Nicole Maines doing her thing? Like,
This is Coltrane says, why does Nicole Maines only write Dreamer? I get they played him on TV years ago, but I feel like you need to go past that at a certain point. Or like not just shove her on a book that has to have Dreamer on it. You know what I mean? Like I do think Nicole Maines is a good writer, actually. I like the what was that Absolute Power Menage a Trois
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Superboy book, Superman book. That was good. I like that.
my thing is, if that's her pet character, fine. I got no issue with that. Do the Jeff Johns. Jeff Johns always found a way to get
Sure.
Stargirl in the mix.
Mm,
So do that. But they got to give her other shit to do
sure.
because
Yeah.
it's very quick that she's going to become that. And I don't mean this to be derogatory at all, but it's easy for her to become that trans writer who writes that trans character.
Sure.
And you've
Yeah.
got to put her in other spots because she is talented. She has chops. She needs to write other people.
We talk about the February specials. We don't need the June specials as well.
Exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
we don't. We don't.
Which this is what it's kind of leading up to, unfortunately.
Yeah. I mean that's what this book exists for. It is to exist to do that Pride event. Event is what they marketed it as, but that is the loosest term of event possible.
Yeah.
It's more of a mini series.
Yeah, they're calling it a pride event. I thought that was when you go to the parade on Saturday in June.
That's when they go to
Um,
basement.
Oh, hey, let's go.
As Marco knows.
Damn, Marco. All right.
It's a good spot.
Entertain Me says, isn't Nicole Maines the creator of Dreamer? She played her. I don't know if she created her. I know she played her. But
Yeah.
whether, like, even if that's true, that's great. I have no issues with that whatsoever. Just let her do other things as well.
Yeah.
The last thing I wanted to shout out on this book was Tamara Bonvian's colors. She always does stellar work.
Yeah.
And I like her, I think, on flatter art as opposed
Yes.
to something like Dan Mora, where like in Justice League things felt too hi-fi, too pop. This felt very balanced, even though there was a lot of colors in the mix. Very, very balanced. In some cases, just not subtle, but just enough of a pop from a superhero perspective that it really worked well.
I don't think we put enough respect on Tamara's name, to be honest, in terms of colorists out there.
It's great.
Like Tamara Bonvian, it was the colorist on, or is as well, on World's Finest, and we could
Mm.
go back to World's Finest to see the kind of visual theme that is all in DC. And she's kind of drawn books throughout that. She's even doing the upcoming Barbara Gordon Breakout. So like that's not going to be the most poppy, colorful one ever, but Tamara's going to be on that as well. So yeah, I think Tamara's a great color. It's one of my favorites out there right now.
I'm gonna pass. I don't think that this is a required read,
Mm.
and I definitely don't feel like I needed to read this for any particular reason, especially not at $5.99. I'm always interested to see what Nicole Maines will do next, and I'm interested to see what Dreamer will do next, but I don't know that this made me care about the upcoming Pride event.
You don't fuck with Galaxy?
Actually, she kind of thick and interesting, so I do. I just don't
Okay,
know
all right.
if I like the total package of this.
Yeah, I like the design of her a lot, actually.
She looks very cool. Yeah.
Yeah, I like the color combinations and like the weird fucking alien. Like she looks
The
alien,
ear
which
thing,
I
yeah.
like. Yeah. It's very Star Trek alien, which is funny being written by someone named Jadzia.
Word.
I think this is it's a pull for me, not the strongest pull. It's one I had to like pick up from the shelf, think about it for a bit, and then it went in my bag, you know? But I think on the whole, the Travis Moore art kind of tipped it over for me.
This was my pick of the week.
Whoa. Okay.
Excuse me?
Yeah, I enjoyed this a lot.
Okay.
I'm shocked.
Yeah.
Sean, you said pass?
Yeah, I passed.
Man, we got
Wow,
the whole gamut here.
What a spread on this one.
We can't do a didn't buy, didn't read with the three of us.
Holy
Unless it's
shit.
Marco, who just does go to shop one day.
41% of you did not buy or bother to read this. Pass, 34%. Rough. Pull, 23%. And pick of the week, a paltry 2%. That's Marco. I can't believe. Yeah,
Wow.
Cole's right. Over Swamp Thing X Jesus, you're choosing this over the crossover of the heavens,
We'll get to
Marco?
it. We'll get to it.
Huh.
We'll get to it.
All right.
Said it
Well,
with my chest.
before we get to that, we've got to talk about Zatanna. Number one, this is the next level book that we're getting. This is Jamal Campbell doing it all except the lettering. But Ariana Mayer was ready and tapped in for that position. Zatanna wants to be the Prime Magus, which feels like Doctor Strangey to me, Sorcerer Supreme.
A little bit, but you could just choose to be one here.
Right. She's just like, yeah, I'm going to be that. And then she is that. And so I was pretty disinterested in that. And then there's the butthole monster that Zatanna goes into. She goes into the butt in this issue.
That is like a little prolapsed anus.
There's penetration of the
Oh, no.
Yes.
Yeah.
She walks right in fact.
Of the rectal kind.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like throwing a hot dog in a hallway.
Yeah. It wasn't even that big of a deal to her. If I were walking inside of a rectum,
That's not a big deal to Zatanna, huh?
nah, bro, she waltzed right in.
You got experience.
No issues. She pulled up.
Whoa.
Matter of fact, she pulled that shit into a hat, did she not?
Straight up.
Yeah, Zatanna went into her black hat and pulled in an ass. So I feel like that's largely what this issue was. That's all I remember anyway, was the ass monster, and I'm just going to be the Sorcerer Supreme because her and Scarlet Witch have more in common than we thought. Because
Oof.
Scarlet Witch became Sorcerer Supreme by just being like, yeah, let me just grab these items and be that.
Where let me get the fit.
Yep.
Yo, all right. I'm glad you guys are saying this. I thought this
I didn't say
was
shit. Don't love me just yet.
Oh, okay, my bad. I thought this was it's all right. I there were moments where I found myself similar to Sean, disinterested, but also this happens I feel like only when you get a singular vision from a writing and art standpoint. There were moments where I feel like I lost track of what was going on in the art and the pages. And specifically, there's this one instance where Zatanna says, does some spell and then like opens the hat up to which the butthole monster goes in, but then they're not there anymore. Her and the prisoner are no longer there. And I was flipping back. I was swiping back and forth trying to figure out, what went on. What did I lose continuity in my brain? But I found that happened a couple times here. So from that standpoint, I was a little frustrated with this book.
Yeah, man. Jamal Campbell is a phenomenal artist. Some of the double page spreads in this are gorgeous. But when Jamal Campbell writes for his own art, I think he overdoes it.
Mm.
I think he overwrites the characters, and I think he overwrites the things to put on the page that he then draws. I think the pages are busy. And a lot of the times, the way Campbell likes playing with light a lot, but almost too much. Like I have a page up here where the fucking rabbit is fighting some shit.
Oh yeah.
And the light source is wild. There's a light coming all over, and like everyone's highlighted. It kind of takes me out, and I'll be honest, I didn't find the story compelling in this. In so much that like, man, I'm not sure I find. It's gonna be hard to say. I'm not sure I find Zatanna by herself to be that compelling.
Thank
Yeah.
you, Tyler.
I don't want to have to read backwards all the time. I think Zatanna works so good in Justice League Dark when she has a foil. By herself, take it or leave it. And apparently she can just take or leave the DC Sorcerer Supreme title too. So yeah, that's how I feel.
I didn't give a fuck about the first one. I didn't give a fuck about the second one, and I didn't give a care about this one. It's nothing against Jamal Campbell, and it's actually nothing against Zatanna. I just don't think this character needs a book. It doesn't work. There's nothing here. Like Jamal wants to tell stories with this character, and he's so talented that DC says, yeah, but like she fights a butthole monster. And I'm not sure why. Like,
Damn,
I can't figure out how to get into the story. It just doesn't feel like there's anything to invest in. What is the emotional core of this issue? If I missed it, please tell me.
it's not even in getting the title. She just takes it.
Right.
Like, I think that could be compelling. How does she become the Sorcerer Supreme of this world? We don't even have anyone fighting for her for it.
Dude, I thought that was what it was going to be about. The first page, I was like, okay, that's cool.
No, it's just it's a Witcher side quest is what you get. You got some XP, and then you get to be continued in the back, which has like a montage bit to show me what's going. I don't do that. I hate when books do that. When they show me what's going to happen. I want to see what's going to happen. I don't want to have to then retroactively fit it in my brain.
I'm not going to remember this tease.
Name me three of those characters.
I couldn't name you one of them.
Exactly.
I didn't know there were three.
Were there three?
In the background, yeah, the thingy thing.
I forget the page.
And it sucks because it's gorgeous, and I think Zatanna is a great character as well. I love Zatanna as a character, but man, it's just this is how I felt with the first Jamal Campbell Zatanna book too. That it looked good, but the story was a little wacky by the end.
Wacky, but then by the end it was like she's just, oh, I'm the magus, so let's explore the world. Like, come along in my magic school bus.
Girl, that's a booty hole. I mean, I guess that works. That works here too.
I actually have nothing more to say. I'm a pass. If I could never read a Zatanna ongoing again, I would love to. I don't get the point. I love the character though. I think she's great, just not alone.
I mean, you should check out Zatanna Bringing Down the House, though.
I've heard that's good.
That was fine. Like I read it. I thought it was fine. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm gonna pass on this.
Shit. Mark me down as a pass too, unfortunately.
Yikes.
I wonder like if I would have liked this more if Jamal wasn't writing as well. Like I think about Far Sector. I love Far Sector. I think Far Sector is great. But that's a collaborative effort where I guess like two people can work, they can temper each other's urges creatively. Whereas if
They
it's
have
one person
jobs.
doing it, yeah.
I mean, like, is it offensive to say that not every artist should write? Like I don't think that his level of writing chops is DC Comics level. Like, if you really, and again, DC can do whatever they fucking want. If they want to pay him to do this, and that's their money. But I don't think that this is the kind of quality level that we should be getting from books. Pair him up with an excellent writer, and let's maximize what you can do with this guy.
The talent for each.
What else
Yeah.
has he written?
As far as I know, Zatanna stuff.
I mean, he's got a favorite character at least.
Well, it's time to talk truth, guys. We come on here to talk about the truth and tell the truth, and that's what we're going to do. Talking about Batman Wonder Woman Truth, #1. Written by Jeff Loeb with art by Jim Chung, my second favorite artist whose name begins with Jim.
Oh, thank God you went that way.
Jim Jones?
No.
Oh, artist.
Yeah, he's a recording artist.
Got it.
So, colors by J. David Ramos.
Oh.
Letters. Sorry.
We didn't close the poll.
Oh, my bad. My bad, guys. I'll close it now. 44% pull. Wow. Okay,
Oh.
cool.
Oh,
Well, it's a poll.
33% didn't buy or read. Pick of the week, 16%. Pass, 7%. Decent. I'm surprised. The colors are by J. David Ramos, and the letters and design are by some people we know very well. Richard Starkings
Yeah.
hey.
and Tyler Smith, who's in the chat right now. What's up, Tyler?
Hey.
Brother, Tyler, let me tell you right now, your part of this book was really good. Really, really good.
Whenever I look at League of Comic Geeks, I just imagine Launchpad McQuack is lettering these books. So I appreciate that profile pic.
This story was crafted by Alan Heinberg, who is famous for the stuff he did with the Young Avengers. Couldn't tell you how it took that mastermind to come up with this story, which is essentially Wonder Woman meeting up with Batman to have a conversation about Batman's decision to break up with Catwoman. And I thought this was in high school. Meanwhile, Bruce Wayne and Diana Prince are doing some rich people stuff. And Catwoman decides she's going to steal the lasso and have a merry old give chase, but she gets stopped by Harley Quinn. And then they go to the Batcave, and Dick Grayson, not Dick Grayson.
I think
Damien,
it's
was it not?
Tim Drake. It's Tim
Tim,
Drake.
Oh.
Yeah, it can't. Yeah, this is Marco. This takes place in between Hush 1 and 2, closer to the end of 1, I think.
Yeah.
So I don't think there is a Damien yet.
Okay.
But we do get to see Tim get horny for Wonder Woman, which was for some reason necessary. And then the Joker comes out, and he gasses Wonder Woman as he's wont to do, and then she solves the gas by simply touching the lasso. And what's the final message? Batman touches the lasso in front of Wonder Woman and does something he says he would only ever do for her, even though I have seen him do literally this in front of her and Superman in Infinite Crisis, I believe. But putting that aside, somehow the implication is that she can see what he sees and sees his pain from the death of his parents. And he says, while he's holding the lasso, he says, "Mother, father." And then he leaves into the night. Not night, dawn. Because things are always darkest just before the dawn, and this was dark. My feelings about this book are very dark. This was
Interesting.
fucking abominable.
Abominable.
This was, to me, this was irredeemable.
Oh, damn.
So
Yeah.
here's the thing. I think the story is pedestrian. Like there have been better Wonder Woman Batman stories, and I found Batman strangely, for being a Jeff Loeb book, to be the most out of character out of everyone here. Like this is someone who's known Diana for a long time. I feel like this relationship would not be this infantile throughout, and that takes me out. But it is redeemable because I think this is some of Jim Chung's best work. I think this is a gorgeous ass book. Throughout. Mark, are you familiar with Jim Tung? Yeah, I didn't think so
Here and there.
yeah, because this was like Sean and I's guy at Marvel way back when. In fact, I don't think I've ever. He did some DC stuff with Snyder, I think. But his DC stuff does not stick out in my mind as much as his Marvel stuff does. I mean, he worked on Young Avengers with Alan Heinberg, which, like, I guess fuck Alan Heinberg. He doesn't even get a cover credit for, I guess, scripting some of this. I don't know where the delineation of power went.
Story. All he did was come up with the story,
Okay.
allegedly.
Yeah. But man, I thought the story was kind of dumb. Like, Diana is the story implies that Diana is a character of pure love and understanding, right? Why is she jealous of Catwoman? Like, why are they acting catty? It's just a weird depiction of women throughout this. Like, if she trusts Bruce, she should then trust his judgment, and that's questioned throughout this. And that didn't track for me. It didn't track at all. And then, like, the resolution to it does then not feel like it resolves the actual conflict that the book presents, even though I don't agree with the conflict. For me, 4 pages into this, I was like, man, I don't care about the story at all. I'm just gonna eat the art, and I thought the art was good, and I enjoyed myself because of that. I think for me, this is more a visual feast, and I was eaten because I thought this is gorgeous.
I don't have much more to add with regards to the story. I think it was flat, very. I think you said it best, Tyler. Pedestrian. The art, though, there were moments where I was just kind of looking at the hatching, zooming in because I could do that on the iPad. That was cool to see. You're right. The 2-page spread where it's like the gladiator pit. Oh, gorgeous with the rose petals kind of flying throughout. Awesome, awesome visuals. Wonder Woman's curvy. She got long ass legs.
Okay, hold on, but calm down there, brother. You got a little too much
sorry.
dip on your chip.
There was some really cool moments with Batman when he's coming down the stairwell. Like, you're right, this was a visual feast, and seeing the interactions and how good of an artist Chung is was generally just really cool. But yeah, that's the only redeeming factor for it, and even then, I'm not interested. I feel like Jeff Loeb's name in my mind, and I didn't read, the second that continuation of Long Halloween, which I heard was really strong,
It's good.
but like everything else around that, presumably, has not been hitting. This is just another one of those in that bag.
Jeff Loeb is a fascinating writer to me because there's no middle ground with Jeff Loeb, I feel. He's written some of, like, he's written Long Halloween. He's written his Nova run, which I find phenomenal, with Ed McGuinness. I like his Hulk run, even though people don't. It's either this or Long Halloween. Like, I feel like there's never a middle ground with Jeff Loeb.
Yeah, I think I pretty much agree with that. And this is definitely on the bad side. And yeah, I obviously the art, Jim Chung is one of the best ever. He's got to be in my Marvel top 5 artists. I love his work so much, and this was beautiful. It's frustrating to me that it has to be attached to a dreadful story. There are so many things wrong with this. Like, what version of Wonder Woman is he even writing? Why are they having a conversation about Bruce's personal dating life? Like, I honestly can't believe that's what the premise of this was. I didn't know what it was going to be. I don't always read solicits, but why would these two have to have this conversation?
Yeah. The thing that I thought worse than that was the fact that she then pops up. She then can't help herself. She has to intervene, Catwoman. She has to, ruin all of this after, like, antagonize, for this. But it felt like for the sake of the plot, not as a component of the story. That felt egregious to me.
Yeah, it's go ahead.
Because the premise is like, hey, trust me, Catwoman. Like she's changed. We understand each other now. And the first interaction Wonder Woman has, she's kind of being a cunt.
Yeah, dude.
Like I know she was there to steal the lasso of truth. Like that was the bit. You're going too far now. Now you're just fucking with us, being kind of an asshole.
Yeah.
So that's where I was like, I found the character interactions just to be weird.
Yeah, this was, ooh, man, wow. This is the worst. It might be the worst Jeff Loeb in a
Oh.
long time because Hush 2 at least has like, okay, like there's antagonism there. Everything here is forced. There's nothing authentic about this. Not any one of the interactions between characters, not the revelation at the end, because there is no revelation at the end. Batman's sad. Wow, I didn't know that. Holy shit.
About his parents?
Whoa, what a revelation.
Yeah.
It's the first thing you know about Batman. Why
Wonder
does
Woman
this
knows this
exist?
already. Yeah.
It's fucking stupid.
I will say one thing I enjoyed about this. I love when comic teams they have to put Joker in a book, so they put him in just some fuck ass costume for no reason.
Where
Like he gets like
Yeah.
the weird action figure costume. Like, oh, here's a Sunday beachwear Joker. You know, like I this is cowboy Joker all of a sudden. I'm like, I dig that shit. Have fun with that.
Pass of the month for me.
yeah, this is a pass. Wow.
Yeah.
Tyler?
Oh man, I really don't want to pass on this art, but I didn't really enjoy the story. That's a pass. Sorry. Who am I
Yikes.
apologizing for? Nobody's fucking. Well, Tyler's here, so I apologize, Tyler. But
Damn, that is 2 back-to-back all pass.
I actually think this was a rough week. But man, this book was brutality. Other than the art, of course. 51% of you didn't buy or read this. Pass is 25%, 13% pull. Pick of the week is 11%. Pick of the week is 11%.
so in the I don't know if you're reading the comments. A lot of people are unfamiliar with Jim Chung, and this is like revelatory for a lot of people. There's so much Jim Chung you could check out, guys. Now that is phenomenal. Young Avengers, the original Alan Heinberg stuff was Jim Chung. Gorgeous stuff. Was he? He didn't do Disassembled, did he?
No, he did, but he did do
He
didn't
did
he do an
Avengers
event?
for sure. He
I
definitely did an
feel like
event. Yeah.
yeah. What event was him?
I mean, he
It
did.
wasn't Fear itself.
Maybe
Who was Fear
Maybe.
itself? Because
Jim
Eminem
Chung.
was Siege, I believe.
He did some of AVX, maybe.
Okay, yes, because I'm seeing his Captain America. That's what
Yeah,
I'm
I mean, he
seeing.
did the Heroic Age. Remember that splash page marketing material of Heroic Age with Spider-Man in the middle?
Mhm. Hell yeah. Hell to the yeah. Style So Serious says, I completely disagree. Generational perspectives really come into play when reading this story. It's not great, but irredeemable is a bridge too far. I don't know what my generation has to do with my opinion on the book, though. Like, I read a book and didn't like it. I don't think that's generational. I thought it sucked really bad. If you disagree, that's cool, but don't pull out the generational card on me. That's a little weird. I've been reading comics for 20 years, Jack. This ain't new to me.
In what way? Are you unk or are you too young for this? I don't.
Yeah, I never understand that kind of thing. Like, what flag do you think you're waving? Some superiority
You
flag
got
of,
flags? What about flags?
I don't get it. All right. Let's talk about the Swamp Thing.
Oh.
Man, I need to get a Swamp Thing soundbite of the animated theme song real quick.
Swamp Thing.
This is a pretty important issue. I know you guys know that because you voted for it overwhelmingly in the poll this week. Overwhelmingly. There is a poll up. Well, no, I was about to say there is a poll. There is not a poll up right now. It will be up tomorrow at the standard time, 5 p.m. Eastern, Thursday. So you can vote for whatever will be on that. And then this book was written by Rick Veitch with pencils by Michael Zulli, letters by John Costanza and Todd Klein, colors by Trish Mulville, inks by Vincent Locke. Marco, can you do this? Because yeah.
He did it on
Yeah.
Discord, so yeah, he can definitely do it here.
So, for context, this is actually the 88th issue of the Saga of the Swamp Thing run back in 1989, which why that's called that. This was after Rick Veitch took over the book. He's about a year and a half, 2 years into his run. He has already introduced the Sprout, or the successor to the Elemental Force. And because of that, there was this mismatch on Earth and within the Parliament of Trees. And so what ends up happening is during a crossover with Invasion, which we all read, one of the Dominators actually phase shifts Swamp Thing out of phase with time, and so he goes on this time exploration going backwards, World War II, then World War One, then in the Western, and he explores, Veitch explores the DC universe via time backwards. So he gets to interact with Jonah Hex. He gets to interact with, Easy Company, Sergeant Rock, Merlin, and the rest of all the,
Yeah.
Arthurian characters and all that. And it all culminates in issue 88, where he is meant to meet Jesus. And that is where this story picks up after all of that sort of baggage, to be honest, because I do think that this is not a, I don't think this is a book that you kind of just come in and read fresh.
Huh.
And so that to me was because I have that history and that context, I came in and it kind of slotted in, but it's hard to, I would imagine, and I'd be curious for your guys' perspective on it. I feel like this is probably hard to just like get a grip on.
I disagree.
Okay.
Um, I I wanted to catch up.
Yeah, yeah,
You did the whole thing, like here's stuff you can read for, and you put on the Discord. And I realized I got Hawkeye and Roots of Madness. I don't got time for this. Sorry.
yeah.
So I just didn't have enough time. That being said, we see a Swamp Thing that is in the fucking multiverse, and they let us know right off the bat. This is classic, Crisis on Infinite Earths kind of style DC multiverse. That's all I need to know. He name drops Merlin at one point. I was like, okay, I don't really have the context for that, but
It
I can
happens like
tell.
an issue or two before.
Yeah, I can tell like he is going through time, or the multiverse. I was initially thinking the multiverse, but as I got through it, you can tell it's time based, and that's all I really need. And I was kind of fine with it. This is my pick of the week, actually.
Oh, dang.
I had a lot of fun with this. I didn't have any trouble getting into it. I'm primed to want to read to a Swamp Thing book at this point, which Marco fucking Pavlov dogged me, I guess.
Hell yeah, dude.
I hear a click and I'm like, ooh, the green. And I just had a lot of fun with this. Here's the thing. I grew up Irish, a Catholic. I was going to church every first Friday of the month. I'm, I can feel the sun beaming on me through a stained glass window depicting the stages of the cross, stations of the cross. So this is very much within my wheelhouse of things that interest me. I'm interested in the story of Jesus and the story of the New Testament and the Old Testament. The Old Testament is fucking wacky as fuck. But for me, it's a story, really. I'm not religious at all. I don't believe in any of that shit. Sorry, I don't not to say and that shit, but like type shit. And this I found to be really compelling because regardless of whether or not what you believe religiously, like historically speaking, this Jesus existed at some point. There's historical documents there. So taking a character like Swamp Thing and then throwing him into this world with the recollection of like, oh, this meant something to Alec. Alec was he really fucked with this dude. Who is this dude? And that curiosity that sparks throughout it, and then realizing like, oh wait, no, I know who this guy is because of the reverberation throughout history. It's not coming at it from a religious perspective. It's coming at it with the knowledge that people have a religious perspective to Jesus as a person, but Swamp Thing's coming at it from a historical perspective. He's like, oh, this guy's important until the end, and things are shifting. He's like, whoa, hold on a second. Maybe he was right. Maybe he was the Son of God. And I like the idea of questioning religion is very interesting to me. And I like that throughout this because I'm getting a little bit of a tinge of it from a fucking green dude. And I thought it was a lot of fun. I thought it was fucking wacky that the origin of Etrigan is in this.
That was crazy.
Is that canon
That-
now?
I hope so, because that's fucking cool.
Etrigan is the son of Mary Magdalene and Belial. Wild. Yeah, I thought this was a lot of fun. It was ugly as hell too.
Yeah, Zuli's art's rad. He did a lot of Sandman too.
I'm not gonna lie, I didn't want to read this because it's so like I figured it would be so slotted into, the run that it's attached to, and reading it divorced. I was like, that seems like it'd be strange. And this was this was the second to last book that I read. So I don't know that I absorbed everything from it, but I actually had a pretty good time anyway. I thought the story being good is undeniable to me.
Yeah.
Regardless of like how much context I didn't have, I had just enough to read this for what it was. And actually, I thought the fucking demon summon was insane. I
Yeah.
thought that was so cool. And then the fact that those guys were
Yeah.
the three wise men.
Yep. I was like, yo,
Yeah,
heel
yeah.
turn, heel turn.
Yeah.
When that happened, I was like, what kind of book is this? And then when they had no eyes and they were like, oh yeah, we summoned this demon, I was like, oh my God, this is incredible.
I bet I know why. They probably gave him that frankincense and myrrh, and like Mary and Joseph never sent like a thank you card.
They're
And
spited.
they're just spiteful throughout all those years. 33 years, they were spiteful.
I actually thought that was all super cool. That demon looked awesome, and I was like, "Why does it look like Etrigan?" And then, of course,
Right. Yes. Yeah.
Damn. Okay. Yeah, that's awesome. I genuinely thought that this was going to be like difficult to like jump into. If not, then I feel like that speaks to Veitch. Like Veitch is a really good writer. He had a lot of work to do coming off the back of Alan Moore, like a seminal run, and he was lockstep. There were some, beats here or there, but that's really encouraging. I'm glad. That's awesome.
It feels like more, except goofy.
Yes. Yes. Yep.
More gets real heady. It gets real deep. This is goofy at some points. At one point, this fucking guy has a demon possessed with him, and Mary Magdalene's like, hey, that's not my man's. He wouldn't do that. And then the other guy's like, nah, he's got jaundice because he's drinking too much. Like
that was hilarious.
It's goofy. It's goofy. And like he's clearly possessed. And the most clearest, like he looks like a cat man.
Yeah.
And everyone's just like, nah, man, he's just be drinking too much. I had fun with that. So I assume that the trajectory of this series, this 1989 series, will be the continuation of that traveling throughout time story.
Yes and no, because it seems like there's a bit of a pivot in some of the back matter, and there was a recent interview too that Veitch did that I listened to, and so like this is this issue specifically is almost 1-to-1, and then some of the stuff that happens after with new artists and whatnot has been altered a bit to finish that sort of opus.
Okay.
So everything we just read was written and drawn at the time.
Already drawn. Yep, Zuli already drew all this.
And then future issues will feature new material.
New artists, new art. Some of that story has changed a bit, but it will be relatively new, if not based off of some of the original stuff he had planned out.
Huh.
It's wild to know that like this issue of Swamp Thing is is written and it's older than us, and it's finally being printed.
Yeah, dude.
And to the generational thing that was brought up before, look at us loving it. I guess we're babies, but it's really good, and it makes me think that maybe I should read the Swamp Thing run that this is attached to.
Yeah.
I've been wanting to read the continuation of Alan Moore's run into this stuff because Veitch also did the space stuff that you did, or is that Moore as well?
No, all Moore. Moore did all the space stuff, and then Veitch picks up.
Okay. Either way, I'm a convert.
Hell yeah.
Easy pull for me.
Oh shit.
Yeah, that's my
it's
pick of
a
the
pull.
week. Pick of the week, especially when he's busting nuts on that cover real quick. Yikes.
Yo, look at this cover, bro.
Yo, that's when she slip a finger in.
Oh no.
It's so suggestive, dude.
Yeah, for real.
Oh, 49% of you guys didn't buy or read this. 33% of you said pull. Pick of the week is 12%. Pass is 6%.
Nice.
Okay.
The back matter. Did you guys get a chance to read some of that?
No, I was sleepy.
No.
I took a nap before the show.
Actually written by Stephen Bissett, who I feel comfortable
Oh.
saying is now a friend of the show. And in it, he kind of details the cancellation of of the series and everything that was going on. It was a combination of a number of things, kind of comics codes being enforced a bit more, the material and some of the new leadership that was happening at DC. But he goes on into how that's somewhat hypocritical because the origins of Swamp Thing, and especially the arc that started all of this, like the very, very first, number 1 through number 20 before more, was dealing with the Antichrist, was dealing with demons, was dealing
Yeah.
with this kind of imagery. And so shame on DC for not sticking through with this artistic vision.
Well, they're
Yeah.
fixing their ways now. Just 30
Takes some
plus
time
years later.
sometimes. Yeah.
Just another thing that DC's doing right
Yep.
now. I mean, Marco will know this. Tyler, I'm sure, knows it too, but this was a long known about story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
I wonder if there'll be a black label version of another DC story that they have a script for out there. Twilight?
Oh, no. No.
That will never you're safe in saying it'll never see the light of day.
The script was published by, well, not the script, the treatment,
The treatment, yeah.
the Bible was published by DC a few years ago, but it will never be drawn. That would be nuts because there's no dialogue. Someone would have to write it.
Yeah, it would have
And
to
then
be adapted.
at that point you're just writing you're writing a story that Alan Moore created, and that to me would feel over the line.
Mm.
Sean, question, says I didn't get to go to my shop this week. Paper on that book on Swamp Thing. It's different, right?
Yes.
Oh, is it?
Yes, it's very nice. I love the paper quality.
It's
It
not
feels
matte,
old
right?
school.
Yeah.
No, it feels old school, like paper from this time.
Okay.
I think
It kind of reminds me of the Assorted Crisis events that we read recently.
yes.
Yeah.
Which, hot take, I think is better. I prefer a comic to be that. And also, you notice the back ad?
Yo,
It's a throwback to what probably would have been an ad back in '89.
I love that.
Oh,
Love
cool.
that.
Yeah. Even the start. What is it? The Johnny.
Mm.
With Johnny DC, where he kind of like catches you up.
Yeah.
DC investigator. It's rad.
Hayden suggests that we do Green Month. Hayden, we did Green Month, brother. And we did, I believe that was where we ended up doing the Hulk book, Future Imperfect,
Oh, I think so. Yeah.
which was amazing. But hey, maybe we bring Green Month back. I don't know. We
To
can,
finish up that Swamp Thing run.
Oh, that's right. That's right. What do we have? One more volume 3 to go? Or
It would be like one more bigger arc because it's 6 volumes, 6 trades in total. So we
Gotcha.
do 5 and 6.
That would be
That's-
a first.
That's the space arc, dude. Oh, that's so good.
maybe, but this month's theme is DC's women. So you can nominate any book where the primary character is at least one woman. So you could do Birds of Prey because it's a team of women, but you can't do Justice League, whatever, just because Wonder Woman is in the book, right? So with those parameters, make sure you're nominating something DC. Someone nominated Rainbow Rowell's She-Hulk, and I was like, brother, that's not DC, man.
Which I love that book. But I saw
It's a
you
great
comment
book.
on that. I was like, oh, you're a little lost in the sauce there, buddy.
Come on now.
There were some recommendations, like books getting nominated that didn't even cross my mind. And I'm like, oh, hell yeah. Patrick saying, y'all tell us y'all did something, but then it was like 5 years ago and 3 hosts ago.
No, that was like last year. I'm pretty sure. Kale was here. That was like last year.
Yeah. Kale
It might have
counts
been
in the
2 years
modern comics battles lore.
If if for me, it's before Tyler and after Tyler.
Yeah.
That's
yeah,
life,
yeah.
baby. That's what I say to all my exes too.
There you go. There you go.
Actually, I
Before
don't.
Tyler.
I don't break all contact. I don't talk to my exes.
That's right.
Justice League League of One slaps though. I don't know what that is.
League of One. Is there a Justice League of their own? Because that would be a good book.
I don't know what that is. That's interesting.
Justice League, a League of One. It's a oh shit. What is this? Christopher Heller. I don't know what the fuck this is. It's got Wonder Woman on the cover, but it's got a whole bunch of dudes on the cover. What are we doing here?
We need to get those numbers in the chat for the stack. I have to take a quick break and leave my chair. So you guys get the numbers. Say whatever you want. I'll be right back.
Oh, say whatever we want. Okay, Marco, how's your nose?
It's fine now, dude.
Yeah.
For context, I for the show, I had a little bloody nose. I sometimes get them when the air is dry. My nostrils drain out, and
Yeah.
I'm unable to breathe.
Yeah. So that's what we were talking about before the show, and I have a hot take. I don't know if the chat can
Do it.
walk with me on
Can
this one.
handle
Ready?
it.
I think we need to destigmatize picking your nose. I think there are clean ways of doing it. Make sure you have a little tissue with you. I think handkerchiefs are kind of gross and antiquated. Let's not do those two tissues. We'll throw that shit out.
It's not
But
cute.
it's okay. Sometimes you got to dig in there, you know? And I think we stigmatize something that we all do. Everyone's picking their fucking nose, whether they like it or not. Don't be eating that shit. Don't be wiping it on shit. I don't need to see your office chair with boogers underneath it. I work IT. I have seen this. I've seen people have the museum of boogers underneath their chair. But I think Patrick says, I'm running with you. Whoa, hold on, wait, I'm not. Yeah, I just think, sometimes you got an itch that must be scratched or something needs to come out of there. And just, they're WWS is picking your nose is disgusting. Eating boogers is all right, though. What? Topsy-turvy fucking world are we on?
This is what you guys brought up, the nastiness of Marco?
Well, I didn't bring up the specifics.
Oh no.
Oh, okay, my bad. All right.
He told me about my bloody nose. That's about it.
Yeah.
Oh,
I just
okay.
have allergies, so I always have an itchy nose. So this is maybe a little more of a, I want to be okay to because I'm always because I gotta like scratch my nose sometimes, and I feel like people are looking at me because I'm picking, but I'm not picking, I'm just allergic to every fucking thing.
Marco.
Scratching.
You been skiing, bro?
Skiing? Nah, bro. No. I haven't been.
Hit the
Not recently.
slopes?
Not recently, at least.
Oh, okay. I thought you were served up, man.
Nah.
Okay.
Not recently.
There we go.
Not that I do it.
Real YT says, if this was a Go game, I'd say Tyler convinced you. Thank you.
Oh, okay.
Oof.
Shoot.
Shoot.
I didn't
See, I
realize
agree with
people
CW Gordon. I agree.
Is less gross than boogers?
1000%, dude.
Man, piss kink
1000%.
reveal.
You want to talk about fear factor? I'll tell you right now, and I mean this. I would rather drink a shot of piss than eat someone else's boogers. I'm telling you right now.
Oof. Okay, hold on.
That's a quandary.
That is a
Go
quandary. I
ahead.
do not want to eat someone's boogers. I think it's vile.
That's a predicament.
I don't want to take a shot too. Oh man, this is gonna be problematic to say, right?
But see, what's the texture?
The hotter the person, the more okay I am with drinking. And I think that's an issue. I think that's pretty privileged, and I think I should maybe bring that up in therapy tomorrow. Like if I'm not drinking no Fugo's piss.
Oh no! Oh
I need to
no!
justify it in a way.
Can't do it.
Who's pissed? I love that, MD Johnny. That's hilarious. Rel says, I'd rather be near someone booged up than pissed up. What does that mean, bro?
Bugged up.
Well,
is
a lot of people are
crazy.
booked up constantly. Yeah, piss is dangerous. There's a lot of stuff in there too. It's
What
hot,
you mean? All right, I'll take a swig. It's a shot. I would never be able to forget that I ate someone else's produce from their nose.
Produce?
Oh. Oh, man.
And here's the thing: the likelihood of me never being okay. I think piss is kind of gross. I'm not a piss guy. But the hotter the person is, the less trouble I feel drinking the piss because I trust their diet, right? Boogers, there's no scale there. I'm grossed out no matter what. There's nothing you can do to fix your boogers. Like that's all gonna be gross. There's no diet I don't think that can fix. People are, Sean, how was that stack going?
Oh, true.
Word. Make
True. Sorry, guys.
Let me
Sorry.
get
All
let me
right.
get those numbers. Let me get those numbers. All right,
Yeah,
we got
yeah, yeah.
starting with Patrick Zay 17, Near 14, Absolute JTQ 18, Chris Covers Comics 16, The Game Master 15, Hated Tied 12, Munster 12, Garrick the Tailor 15, Rel YT 13, Entertain Me 18, CW Gordon 14, James Jones 11, Maximus the Mad 16, Rand 57, Coltrane 11, Ted H 30. That's it.
Oh, we had a question for you, Marco. Patrick says, "Do you ever nom to nose?"
No, I'm not, I have. No,
What does
no.
that mean?
I don't mind a big nose. That I will say on the pod.
I've nommed a nose. Yeah, I've nommed a nose.
What do you
Like-
mean?
Like put your mouth on, it, like suck on someone's nose.
Oh, thing. That's not a thing.
It's not a
talking about
thing for the the uncultured, maybe
We're talking about extreme behavior, right?
Extreme.
not normal behavior according to Sean.
Yeah. Who
All
does it?
right. Huh?
No, yeah, you're good.
The 6 we
We're
talked
not-
about
We're not
already.
good.
We are far from good. Red Roots number 1.
Oh,
Oh, nice.
Yep. Wrestle Heist number 5 is. I think this is the finale.
it is finale going down for the
Uh,
body count.
Wolverine Weapons of Armageddon number 3. Can't wait to get to that.
Yeah, I was hoping to pick that up. I read it before the pod.
Yeah, I would have loved to. I was right around game time. Punisher number 3. Roots of Madness number 6. We just spoke to the
Nice.
writer of this, Stephanie Williams. Go watch that. The Sacrificers 21. This is also a finale issue.
Hmm.
Can't wait to see how Rick Remender and co wrap that up.
Are you up to date on Sacrificers?
No, I'm maybe 4 issues behind
Oh, that's up to date.
for me. And then Skinbreaker number 8.
Oh,
That's it.
7 plus 6.
Yep.
Wait,
All right.
6 plus
13.
what?
7 plus 6.
Oh,
No, I said that way specifically to avoid.
thank you, Marco.
I heard a fucking kid say it in a Pac Sun, unironically the other day.
Oh, there they go.
Did anyone get that?
13. We got
What's usually-
Rel YT got
Nice.
it. Yeah, only one on the
is
nose.
Is the YT YouTube or like white?
It's probably
Rel
YouTube, right?
White.
You know, like when people like say YT instead of like Whitey.
Yeah, white. What?
You Rel White. What's 79 plus 21?
21.
I don't want to answer because I feel like there's some kind of a joke on the other end of that.
So what was it? 79 plus 21?
Marco, ask ChatGPT. Quick!
So is that not 100?
It is.
There has to be some kind of angle that Christian is working. Yeah, Rel, if you want the code to any of the Marvel books I bought this week, feel free to DM me on Discord and I'll hook you up. If you're not on our Discord, everyone should be. It's a great place to be. It's super fucking fun. And we're always having a great time over there. I'm sorry, Chris, that your shop didn't have Roots of Madness. That's really bizarre.
Damn.
You need
That's
to
weird.
let them know. Ignition is where it's at right now.
Yeah. This Saturday is Free Comic Book Day. Everyone. No. We're not done. We're not done. I knew I was gonna forget, but I'm not gonna let us go without doing it. Pick of the month.
Oh,
Okay,
okay. I was like, I
okay.
don't have any slides left. What am I forgetting?
So we
Just
got
that.
because I pulled this earlier. So first week of pick of the weeks, we had Absolute Superman number 18.
For who?
For all of us.
Oh,
Then we had for Tyler, Fury of the Firestorm. Bleeding Hearts was mine. Sean was unavailable that week. All of us, Absolute Batman number 19. And then Spider-Man, Superman for Sean. The Infernal Hulk for me. Absolute Wonder Woman number 19 for Tyler. And then the ones we talked about earlier today. I'm going to give it to Absolute Batman.
Same.
I'm going to give it to Absolute Batman. I actually stuck it all on now. It's stuck.
I don't want to know what
Stuck
you
right
used to
here.
bind it. Give it to Absolute Wonder Woman for me. I still think that eked out, I think.
Oh, nice.
It was close,
All right.
but in my head, I
Yeah,
think
that was
I that one's. I'm thinking of the fucking Harryhausen-esque skeleton that is Zatanna in that. I dig
That was
that book.
cool.
Hell yeah. Hell to the yeah. This Saturday's free comic book day, guys. Support your LCS if you can. Go pick up books. The books are not free for your LCS, so if you have the capacity to spend a little bit while you're there, that's great. But free comics, they're free for all. So bring a friend, bring a kid, bring a girl, bring whoever, bring your man, bring someone and have a great time. But spend some of your Saturday with us because at 1 p.m. Eastern, we will be speaking with Kelly Thompson, the writer of Absolute Wonder Woman and the writer of the impending Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Until Saturday, we are the Comics Pals signing off. Peace, pals.